So I got access to the AI test kitchen from Google. I'm not really sure what this does other than I think it's supposed to be text to music. So I'm just literally about to try this and see what happens here. Let's see.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say try now. Yes. Sign in now.
How to make a good prompt. Be very descriptive. Electronic or classical instruments sound best. Mention the vibe, mood, or emotion you want to create. Certain queries that mention specific artists or include vocals will not be generated. So that's interesting. I think they're being very careful about copyright. Let's see, which track is better? Give it a trophy. This feedback will improve music ML for everyone. Remember to save your creations. Audio tracks are not automatically saved. If you want to save your tracks, click the more icon to download. Got it. What do you want to create? This is technically very scary for me because what do you want to create? One of the things that I'm most interested in from this is loops. Can it create like a simple loop? Like something that I could use now. Let's start easy. Let's say a tambourine playing 16th notes and a shaker doing 8th notes. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what that's gonna be. I have no idea what to expect. Okay. Oh, it gives me two. Whoa, okay. First of all, those weren't exactly what I gave it in terms of the prompt. But those are cool. Like, they sound like old records, like from the 50s or 40s even, or, you know, like they have this like old school quality to them. And obviously they're super wonky, but like oftentimes that's kind of cool, like for loops and stuff. I would say the first one was better. The second one had way more tonality and stuff to it, so I don't know. That was a little too crazy in terms of my prompt. So I'm just gonna give this first track a little trophy here. Yay, thanks for your feedback. And I will download all of this because, hey, like this is super useful. Okay, I would say that was, if I had to rate that, maybe on a scale of usefulness, that's probably like a 7 something. Like, cause I can mangle and use that, for something. This is wild. I'm already like, that was a success. Okay, so let me see what else. Let me just do like I'm gonna keep going with this whole basic vibe because I'm super interested in like, again, the usefulness. Disco drums. I'm not gonna say anything else. Okay, it's a lot more than just drums there. That was wild. Huh. I would probably have to give it to the first one again. Yeah, again, it's doing way more than what I'm asking it. So, but again, I'm gonna give the trophy to track 1, and I'm downloading both of them just because. I'd be curious to see if, like, for example, like MidJourney, you could eventually give it like prompts like no melodic instruments, like something like that. I forget if that's exactly how you do the prompt in MidJourney. You know what I mean? Like, so you can direct it more. What else can we do? Okay, let's try like a full genre now. Synthwave. I'm just gonna do that. I'm curious if it'll do like BPM, so like at 100 BPM. This is kind of like, it honestly sounds a little bit like Riffusion. It's this thing. It sounds similar, so I could do like Synthwave drums. Just press play here, and so right now it's just doing this prompt right here. It's doing typing. The cool thing about Riffusion is that it's actually gonna blend from typing to synthwave drums next. Like, you'll see. Let's see. Hopefully it works, because it looks like the servers are acting up, which is very common for them. So, but here, check it out. So it's keeping the tonality of the typing in there, but you can hear like drums starting to come in. And now it's even more. It's kind of whatever. Oh, now it's, I think, fully my prompt. And I should be able to download this if I want to. It's like a 5-second loop that you can download. So if I like this part right here, it'll give it to me here if I want it. Anyway, let's go back. Synthwave at 100 BPM. Yo! That's a solid snare. It's kind of nailing the drums a bit. Okay, the music is hot garbage, but the drums are not bad. Like, I wish I could just get just the drums, because I could like manipulate those. I could program those to sound pretty decent, or just grab the snare, you know what I mean? Super interesting. I think the first one was again better. That's kind of a cool, actually, progression there. It's like keeping the root note the same. It's an A minor. It's doing that, I think. That's a cool chord change. Oh yeah, let's see if it's in 100 BPM. Nope, this is like, let's download them. Let me not forget to download these. I'll give it to the first one again. Yeah, I think that's faster. That's actually like 110 or something. I'll find the BPM. And let's see if it's actually staying in the BPM. That's kind of important, right? Okay, so it doesn't start on the 1. Here's the 1. All of this stuff is mono, by the way. That's like 111 point something. That's actually kind of cool section right there. If we're in the key of A minor, it's like a 6. Or yeah, however you want to think about that. If you're thinking of 1 as the 1, then it's like a 4, 5, 6. That's kind of cool, actually. It's definitely mono, though. That's kind of a bummer. I've noticed that a lot of these AI generation tools are mono. Like Deep Sampler, for example. That's mono. Backbone from Steinberg, I think. That one generates mono samples. I might be able to get some snares and stuff out of here, but this isn't like super useful to me. Like, you can make some stabs and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, if I do like, I don't know, I'm just gonna be weird with it for a second. Anyway, let me get back to this. Why am I doing this? Let's try some of these just other prompts that it's giving me. I kind of don't want to hear melodic techno, to be honest. House music. What does it give me house music wise? Okay. Okay. That's more like Miami bass or something. I want to hear like more specific tech house. I didn't even download those. That was cool. I'm gonna grab both of those. Some funny things in there. I like this. Let's try some strings, like classical string music inspired by heavy metal. Let's see what that does. Let's get weird with it. It's pretty good. It's not very heavy music inspired, maybe. I think I like the first one better. I'm gonna go back to the loops, like see if I can get like some useful loops out of this. Now that I've kind of messed with all those. Just a tambourine playing very steady and even notes. Nope. Yeah, those are really wacky. Claps are kind of cool from there, but there's like no tambourine in there. Well, let me just say tambourine. What happens if I just go tambourine? Does it understand what the tambourine is? That's not a tambourine. Okay, I'm gonna give that a trophy because that was actually a tambourine kind of. I don't know if that's very useful for me though. It's not worth my time to go in there and try to separate that out like into one shots. It's just not good enough for that. Let's see like Flamenco Guitar. That's cool. Okay, that's actually sick. Which one's better? I don't know. I mean, they're both good. It's kind of crazy because it's very unrealistic. It's like it's like almost very robotic. I like the second one maybe better. Yeah. Download. Okay, so that's interesting. Like, so it's for me, it's not doing percussive stuff and drums that well, like individually. Like, it cannot single out drums very well, which is a little bit of a bummer. But hey, like, if it could give like some really interesting melodic ideas with different instruments, that's already really interesting for sampling. Let's try that with let's just do Bossa Nova guitar first. very good, this one. Okay, that's kind of a fail. Let's just do Bossa Nova. There we go. It's a little better. It sounds like... If you had this playing at Nordstrom's in the background, nobody would know, like, that it's AI. Maybe in an elevator you might be more in tune to be like, huh, this is a weird tune. But that's kind of cool. Maybe you could sample that. I'll try that. I like this first one. I want to hear this toe tapping, foot stomping Americana. Oh, look at these. That's whack. Let me hear this. This looks like somebody else's prompt. A rising synth is playing an arpeggio with a lot of reverb. It is backed by Pat's sub-bass line and soft drums. This song is full of synth sounds, creating a soothing and adventurous atmosphere. It may be playing at a festival during 2 songs for build-up. This is not gonna work. I guarantee you this is gonna be wacky. It's not gonna be anything like that. I mean, okay, it kind of was trying some of that stuff in there, but it's just the overall quality is just whack, you know? Like, it's just not good. Let's try the lo-fi, because that's kind of more simple. Duh. Oh, it's getting those drums. Trying to... That was not bad. Again, I mean, nothing anybody would ever listen to, but... Disco strings. I just want to hear that. Like, maybe those are worth sampling, you know? That's kind of cool. There's no real strings in there, but... Psycho strings. This was thick, though. So, it's getting the drums right here and there, but it's not really like getting them... You can't really separate them out, like I said before, so... What else can I do? Let's hear some dubstep. Those were pretty decent, actually. Like, I mean, obviously I wouldn't, again, listen to any of that, but, like, it's getting all the, like, the right things in there. Those snares sounded pretty good. And even this snare was even better, I think. more thing that I could do. Classical guitar. It's hard to get like a tonal center out of these sometimes. So it's kind of hard to like create cohesive ideas out of something like that. Like in terms of like chord progressions, because you'd have to really kind of mess with them. But I mean, maybe you could find some like little melodic lines and stuff and then infuse those into your already pre-written things. Let's hear somebody did drums that sound like rain and thunder. Let me guess. It's not gonna be that. But hey, maybe. Weird. I mean, kind of. I mean, I can hear what it's maybe trying to do there. I mean, when rain falls, it comes down like chaotically and super quickly. So I don't know. It's kind of clever. I don't know how useful that is, but whatever. 1980s synth funk with huge drums and a slow and a very slow tempo. Yes. That's the best one yet. I love that first one. This one was sick. This first one, let's hear that again. It's kind of like Ghostbusters-y. Okay. Oh, what happened? I didn't get to grab that. Good thing I'm recording this, because I wouldn't have been able to grab that. Can I go back to it, please? Okay, I can get back to it, but I lost those, so at least I was recording while that happened, because that one was sick. Let me try it, see what happens if I redo that prompt. So that was my favorite one. Let's see what I get if I do it again. Yes. What is that? I love this. Okay. See, it's already reminding me of the fact that, like, just like with MidJourney, especially in the beginning, the prompts do matter. Not so much anymore. Like V6, like, or V5.1, if you've used that, like, it's pretty easy to get like incredible results. So I'm sure it's gonna be like that probably with this as well. So certain things it's just gonna be better at than others. Of course, there's certain technical limitations to all of this, but I'm gonna be having a fun time just exploring this. Okay, I just submitted some feedback, basically saying that this is pretty much what I expected it to be. So in a way, I'm glad that my mind isn't completely blown, because then I would have some existential crisis happening right now where I've been like, you see what I mean by like me having this weird existential moment? Oh snap, like, we're there, and like now I gotta really start heavily thinking about my future. I mean, I'm already doing that. This is the whole point of this, like I said, why I want to like explore these things, because I want to start implementing stuff like this into my workflow. I don't know, I just feel like the earlier you kind of start to mess around with this kind of stuff, the better understanding you have on what sort of things you could be doing with it. There is a little bit of first mover advantage to some extent, but I don't think it's going to be like that crazy. Like by the time these things get to the point where I can input, like, you know, eventually when you could say make a disco song that sounds like the production quality is inspired by Daft Punk, but the mixing sounds like it's from 2050 and the singer is an amalgamation between Michael Jackson and Celine Dion. I don't know, you know what I mean? And then it'll spit that out and it'll be like mind-blowingly good. I'll leave a link to where you can sign up for this if you want to mess around with this yourself. But it's stuff like this that will become the MidJourney of music. I put a little countdown on my Twitter. I haven't actually been counting it down. I set a countdown in my own brain, let's say, of like, when would I expect there to be a MidJourney for music? And I said something like, what did I say? April 28th, 2024 is my prediction that we will have a MidJourney for music that is at least like V1, you know what I mean? Where when V1 came out, I was still pretty blown away. Like I was like, yo, this is crazy. Now we're at, what, V5.1? And it's been 6 months and it's insanely better. So yeah. Stay on the lookout for stuff like this. There's a lot of resources online where you can like kind of just, you know, follow people who are basically making it their job to follow this kind of stuff, because it is not easy to keep track of everything that is happening on a daily basis. I also made a Twitter thread about that once. You know, what does it feel like when stuff like this is improving exponentially, where we're getting the type of improvement that we've seen in MidJourney but with music? Like, what does it feel like? You know, what's that going to look like? What does that look like for me as a music producer and a writer? Forget even the combination of once these large language models start to do lyrics really well. Like, I don't know why they haven't yet. Like, I know it has its own sort of set of complex problems with singability, rhyme, and, you know, just phrasing, and putting text to melody is not as easy as just outputting text on its own. So there's some limitations there. You know, even if this isn't insanely good, it's gonna be. I want to be able to, as quickly as possible, adapt. I'm not saying this is like an adapt or die situation necessarily, but you know, it's not hard to look back at just the very recent few months of what's happened into the digital art world. I see a lot of people who are just, they're embracing the AI. They're experimenting with it. They're trying to find new ways of working with these new tools, and that is exactly how I want to approach this from the music standpoint. I don't see there being a lot of use to just have a completely 100% negative outlook on this stuff right off the bat. It is important to be looking at the laws and the ethics and all of that, and the copyright, and be careful with that. I honestly don't think it was the right decision for Stable Diffusion to basically do a web crawl on the entire history of art. I think they should have, before they did that, they should have had an opt-out thing long before they even stepped into that journey. But hey, here we are. I'm hoping the music side of these things will approach the ethical aspects of this better. There should be an opt-out right now. Basically some website where you could go in and say, I don't want any AI company to ever have access to my music for training purposes. I think that should already exist. I don't know why it doesn't. Maybe it does. If you know, let me know, because I don't know. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Keep it tight. Later.